Your relationship with money started long before your first paycheck. Let's talk about why you spend the most exactly when you can least afford to. There is a moment you know well. The stress rises, and somehow your hand is already reaching for the purchase. It feels like a choice. It is not. It is relief. Here is the pattern. Spending spikes when fear spikes. The worse you feel, the more you buy. And the buying is not about the thing. It is about making the feeling stop. The amygdala activates first. It is your brain's threat detector, faster than thought. It cannot tell a real danger from a vague dread, so an unpaid bill reads as a predator at the edge of the fire. Loss aversion pours fuel on it. Your brain weighs a loss about twice as heavily as a gain, so the fear of going without screams louder than the quiet damage of the spend. You flee the loud one. Then mental accounting hides the wreckage. Each purchase lands in a sealed bucket. Treat, self-care, just this once, never added to the others. The threat response gets its relief, and the total stays invisible. Notice the trade. You are not buying the candle, the jacket, the upgrade. You are buying 90 seconds of calm. The product is just the delivery vehicle for a dose of safety. The relief is real, which is the trap. Your brain learns. Discomfort, then spend, then calm. The loop rewards itself. Each repetition carves the pathway a little deeper into the stone. This is not a character flaw. It is fear regulation through a financial channel. People reach for spending the way others reach for a held breath, a clenched jaw, a turned away glance. Watch the timing and it gives itself away. Late at night, after conflict, when the account is lowest. The pattern is not random. It tracks the fear, not the wallet. Scarcity is the master switch. When money feels tight, the amygdala treats every dollar as a contested resource. And paradoxically, that pressure makes you grab for the soothing purchase even harder. Your brain is protecting you, that is the strange truth. The overspend is a protective reflex aimed at the wrong threat, guarding your mood while quietly draining the very security you are afraid to lose. Let's name the disguises. I deserve this. Often true, and beside the point. Dessert is the story the fear writes to authorize the dose. The reward feels earned because the relief feels needed. It was on sale. The discount is bait for loss aversion. A vanishing deal manufactures a fake loss, the deal you might miss, so your brain spends to avoid losing a thing it never had. It's small. The deadliest one. Mental accounting loves small. 30 tiny purchases never meet each other. So 30 small reliefs add up to one large invisible wound. The cortex knows better. Your rational brain can do the math, see the total, name the pattern. But it is slower than the amygdala, and by the time it speaks, the purchase is already made. So you cannot win this in the moment. Willpower arrives late to a fight that was already decided. The leverage is not in resisting harder. It is in changing the board before you sit down to play. The data is clear. People who add a single delay between feeling and spending, even a short one, cut impulsive purchases sharply. The delay lets the slow cortex catch the fast amygdala. It's predictable, which means it is workable. If you know fear drives the spend, you can intervene at the fear, not the wallet. Treat the threat, and the purchase loses its job. First intervention. Name the feeling before the purchase. I am anxious. I am lonely. I am bracing for a loss. Naming the threat hands the wheel back to the cortex. This works because the amygdala calms when a threat is labeled. The vague dread that powered the spend becomes a specific, smaller thing. And specific, smaller things rarely need a credit card. Second, install friction. Remove the saved cards. Add a waiting rule. Make the soothing purchase take effort, because effort gives the slow brain time to arrive and ask one honest question. Third, build a free relief menu. Your brain wants the calm, not the cart. A walk, a call, cold water on the wrists, a slow breath. Give the threat response a cheaper exit it can actually take. Understand the mechanism. Every urgent purchase that arrives wrapped in relief is suspect. The amygdala does not present a budget. It presents a feeling that wears the costume of a good decision. Let's talk about the bucket problem directly because it is the engine of invisibility. As long as small treats lives in its own sealed room, you will never feel the cumulative weight. So collapse the buckets. Pull every soothing purchase from the last 90 days into one list, one total, one number. The number is the loss your fear has been hiding from you all along. It will sting. Let it sting. That sting is your cortex finally seeing what your amygdala spent months concealing. Pain you can see is the only pain you can act on. This is not a character flaw, and seeing it once is not the cure. The fear re-arrives tomorrow and the day after. So you do not rely on insight, you rely on the structure you built while calm. Consider what you are actually defending when you overspend, a feeling of safety. But real safety is the savings the spending erodes. You are burning the house to stay warm tonight. The scarcity mindset triggers the amygdala's threat response, compelling you to guard what you have, and yet it makes you spend. That contradiction is the whole tragedy of fear-driven money. Here is the reframe. The discomfort you are fleeing is not an emergency. It is a wave. It rises, it crests, it passes, usually within minutes, entirely on its own if you let it. So learn to ride it. The next time the urge surges, set a timer. Do nothing but wait. Watch the wave of fear rise and fall without feeding it a purchase. You are retraining the loop. Each time you ride one out, the pathway weakens. The amygdala learns a new lesson. Discomfort, then waiting, then calm anyway. No purchase required. The loop begins, slowly, to dissolve. It's predictable, and that is your advantage. You will feel resistance to even trying this. That resistance is the mechanism defending itself. Expect it, and proceed anyway. Let's make it concrete. Today, find your 3 biggest soothing purchases of the month. Beside each, write the feeling you think you were treating, not the thing. The feeling. You will start to see the map, the same 2 or 3 fears, over and over, each one routed straight to your wallet. Once you can see the map, you can finally build a different road. The data is clear on one more thing. People who track the feeling, not just the spend, change fastest. The wallet is the symptom. The fear is the cause. Treat the cause and the symptom fades. Your brain is protecting you. Honor the intent. Redirect the method. Tell the frightened part of yourself the truth. The bill is not a predator. The dread is not an emergency. And you are safe enough to wait. Consider the regret you are trying to avoid. People rarely regret the purchase they paused on. They regret the slow erosion of the security they were too frightened to protect. And the trap deepens, because every fear spend that brings relief teaches your brain that spending is how you cope, which means the next fear arrives already pointed at your wallet. Here is the reframe that breaks it. You do not need to buy your way to calm. The calm was always available for free, underneath the fear, waiting for you to stop drowning it out. So build the practice. Name the feeling. Add the delay. Reach for the free relief first. Keep the buckets collapsed into one honest ledger. None of this is willpower. All of it is structure. The reward is more than money saved, though the savings are real and large. It is freedom from being ruled by a reflex. You stop spending to feel safe and start being safe enough not to. You were never reckless. You were neurobiologically frightened, and your wallet was the nearest exit. Once you see the fear clearly, you no longer have to pay it a toll to leave. Understand the pattern. Change the behavior. See you next time.